Hello my friends, and as always, thank you so much for watching my video. Today I'm going to do a review on this reproduction helmet liner for the French Adrian model 1926. And for those of you who are aware of it, the 26 had these little springy tabs on it, where the World War One did not have that kind of stuff. There are similarities between the two and how they look, but for sure the 1926 had these clips on it that goes on those tabs, and we'll put it on a little bit later. And also remember, for those of you who are not aware of these types of things, and you want to put a helmet together, these in World War One also, these came in specific hat sizes. So you've got to make sure that you know what your hat size is, because these things are not adjustable. You can't make them smaller, you cannot make them bigger. The only thing you can adjust is the how high up into the helmet your head can go. You want to have a distance between your helmet and your head, and that's the only thing you can adjust to how tight you make this here. But so just be aware of that particular situation. Now, I ended up buying this thing. I haven't seen any videos about these on social media. Now, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it's just I haven't been able to find it. And I wanted to make my own because it doesn't look like it's incredibly difficult. There's a little bit of patience and skill required, but it's not incredibly difficult. You can see these are just loose tabs that they put together. And um, what it I found one guy who made one, but he was using these clips. He was using them from an old actual original that he had, and so that was kind of like a bummer, because that's going to be like the real difficult part. If you ever want to make one for yourself, that's going to be the difficult part. And so I just said, let me see if I can find something, and I found this one on eBay, eBay USA, but the company is based in France. Okay, and for shipping, and the cost was $55, and it took about 10 days to get here. And I'm just going to give this sucker a big thumbs up right to begin with. It's a very nice looking product, and we're going to take a look at it. For those of you who have an original one, you tell me, what does this look like? How this is pretty good to you. Now, I know that the leather that they would originally use was actually more like would have probably been a more vegetable tan leather. um, This is what's called chrome tan leather. Now, if you look up chrome tan leather, you're gonna definitely say, okay, they went a good step. They did a good job. They did not use faux leather. This is faux leather, and this is actually considered nice faux leather. I think most of us, when it comes to that type of faux leather, we've probably seen the white fabric mesh. This is just happens to be dark, but it's actually thicker, so it's really nice. Now this is chrome tan leather, and look at how much flimsier it is. Okay, not flimsy sounds like a bad word, but it's a softer leather. Okay, this is also vegetable tan without the texture. Sorry, I'm not vegetable tan. I'm sorry, chrome tan leather without the pebbling. Okay, now if you look up chrome tan leather, I think you're going to be very, very pleasantly surprised, because these guys could have gone with faux leather, but they didn't. They went with chrome tan leather, which is leather. It's quite durable. Now, the reason they would have gone in originally, I think, with vegetable tan is because obviously these helmets would have been used in combat. They would have gotten a hell of a lot more rougher use, most likely. And vegetable and chrome tan leather is widely used for many for handbags, for even for clothing. So it is extremely durable material. But I think, why would they have used real leather if this stuff was available? I guess it's just more durable. I mean, this is really soft, um, pliable leather, and I maybe they're just used to it. So this is vegetable tan. This is a chin strap that I'm going to make, because we're going to talk about that chin strap here, and it's a lot thicker, which generally you cannot get vegetable chrome tan leather really thick. It's almost like a fancy leather, to be honest with you. Yeah, it comes out of Italy, India, and I forget what other country, but I mean, if it's coming out of Italy, it's got to be something good, pretty good, I think. So this is how it's sewn together from the two pieces, and you can see here the third piece is added on with a little eyelet, and you've got like a leather, I don't know, leather shoelace, if you will. This is a felt material. This is going to be, I think it's going to be, I said what I said, maybe a little bit over 5 millimeters, maybe a little bit over 5 millimeters, and it's going to be about a quarter of an inch. Can you see that? About a quarter of an inch thickness. So make sure you take this if you want to try and make one of these yourselves. You can go ahead and take this picture and show them, hey, do you guys have any of this thick felt? Because this is natural wool felt. All right, most of the felt that I've seen is like really thin, different colors, but this one's just very nice and thick. And you flip this over like this, and you put it on over your head like this. Now, again, this material here is I'm actually surprised that they did go this route, because I think $55 for something that's made out of actual leather, um, it is very nice. And again, look up chrome leather or chrome tan leather. You're going to be very pleasantly surprised at what is said about that particular material. Now, the one little negative thing I want to talk about when it comes to this particular reproduction is going to be the chin strap. Now, because chrome tan leather is a soft leather, okay, and a thin leather, it does tend to stretch. So this chin strap does feel a bit hokey, in my opinion, because I do have leather that I work with. So as I said, this is the chin strap that I'm going to replace it with. This thickness, usually for me, I tend to like a 1/8, almost like a 1/8 thickness of leather, almost a 1/8 thickness of leather. And I know that for those of you who know about leather, that's not leather talk. You're supposed to use a gauge or an ounces. I'm not gonna do that because I want to talk to people who don't know too much about leather. If you want to make one of these things yourselves, you can do it. You know what? Let me give you the dimensions. Screw that, right? So the triangle, okay, if we want to take a look at this, the triangle, okay, the base of the triangle is going to be 3 1/4, okay, and the length of it is basically going to be, let's see here, basically 3 3/4, so just under 4 inches. Okay, so that's a triangle. The rest of it you kind of have to eyeball it yourselves, but in any case, um, because this doesn't feel like it stretches. This chin strap feels like it stretches. The shorter you stretch it or pull it, the less it stretches. The longer it is, wah wah wah, it does feel like it stretched. So in this case, this is the only thing that I would say, a little hokey, a little bit hokey. The buckle is, it's stiff. It's got nice strength to it, which is good. The rivet, I don't think they would have used shiny rivets like that, or maybe they did. Those of you, again, who have experience with these particular helmets, chime in, please. But again, this is a little bit hokey for me. Now, this particular um, chin strap that I'm going to make, uh, it is, obviously I already made it to cut, and I'm sure you can find something like this at a hobby shop or something, at a craft store, hobby shop, craft store. Maybe a leather store already has those things in stock already cut. All you got to do is cut it to length, and you just measure it to the one that you're. If you buy one, measure it. Let's see. This one is going to be. Let me go ahead and measure this right here for you. And let me see. You got 27 plus the loop. You're looking at basically 28 inches of this. 28 inches. Mine here is longer. I might have to cut it. I'm not sure. I haven't measured it yet. But the one that comes with it is 28 inches. And that includes the fold over. So you can go 28 and a half if you'd like. Okay, remember you got to add the fold, and of course you got to add the rivets. And this particular reproduction comes with these little rivets because you're going to have to add them on to your helmet. So let's go ahead and put the strap onto the helmet. Again, those of you who know about this helmet, you tell me, does it go on the left or does it go on the right? I'm not sure. I haven't figured that one out yet, but no big deal. So what you do is that you put the furry side out, okay, and you put it through. Okay, we see that. Then you put it through the first buckle entrance, then the comes right back out. Okay, so now you have this. Okay, let's do that. All right, you see that? Then we're going to take it from the outside in, and at this point is when you would attach your rivet. And here is your helmet. Moving the buckle will adjust for more or less. Okay, we're going to move the buckle back out, and we have a lot more chin for you big chin people. But how you attach this is another thing that you have to deal with. Okay, if you don't have hole punches, you gotta buy hole punches. No, you don't. You can just get yourself some sort of an awl, something, something to punch through. Okay, poke it through. Because again, you don't need to have to go and buy a whole bunch of stuff if uh if you're not a person who works with leather. Well, you gotta go buy a whole bunch of tools and stuff just to get this one thing done. It's like nah. Just go ahead, and since this leather is soft, you can go ahead and easily punch through it, and then you can put your rivets through it. Obviously, once it's in your helmet swivel. When it comes to leather, if you decided to get yourself a nicer, thicker, well, more authentic leather, you can also still use an awl. It won't be as clean, but you can use it. You know, it's usable. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to these types of rivets, okay, they do tend to have a little bit of a round side to them, a little bit of a roundness to them, and unless you again buy the tools. So this tool here has a basically like a little cup or bowl, or you buy yourself something like this and you place the round part onto this, and then you basically punch that in through the leather, and you hit it, and you put this through the other side of the leather. This will help keep the roundness of it. Otherwise, you know what I just do? I just put it through, hammer, flat. Who gives a rat's ass, man? No one's gonna be looking at that. So again, you don't need to buy all these stupid tools if you're not gonna be working through, with leather. Just make a hole with an awl, put the rivet through, find a way to back the rivet, and then punch it through, and then you're fine. Now, if you do decide to buy some leather and you need to dye it, if you're in Nazi, California, uh, this Angelus leather is good leather, because I don't know how many other states have restrictions against oil-based leather dyes, but in California, you cannot get oil-based anymore. You have to get like water-based, or there's a certain chemical. I heard that they're going to be banning this one too soon because of the certain chemical that's in there. I forget what it's called, but leather dye, the oil dye is really the best. It's really fantastic. And the water-based, as far as I'm concerned, is garbage. For example, when I've done water-based, this leather here, black, even a few days later, I would wet my fingers and go like this, and the dye would literally come off my fingers. Now, if those of you, again, who know a little bit more about certain things like that, let me know. Is there a chemical I should have used before, or is there a chemical I can use after I dye it? But let me know. But with this Angelus stuff here, it's about $7 or $8 with this Angelus stuff. I don't have to worry about that. I dyed it last night, and I put my fingers through it again, and nothing came out. Nothing. I just licked my fingers and nothing came out. Again, the water-based garbage stuff is just crap. I would not recommend it. But in any case, I hope that my video didn't go off on too many tangents. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you where it is that I bought this thing on eBay. Okay, give it a second. Hold on. All right, so this is the seller, Boutique M, and he sells different sizes. And as you can see, that's how much I paid for it, and how much the shipping was, and all that. And at this moment, they're not being affected by any of the Trump uh, tariff stuff. Um, Canada is getting screwed, man. I was about to buy some ammo pouches for my Pattern 58, and they're getting screwed. Yikes! But anyway, in France, that's what it is. So that's what the company looks like. That's what it looks like. So anyway, and as far as the felt, as you can see, you can buy felt. It is available. These are just coasters, but you can find this felt online somewhere. You just have to know how thick it is. Like I said, mine was what, a quarter of an inch thick. That's what they were using. So in any case, my friends, thank you very much for watching my video. I hope again it wasn't too boring and annoying. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer whatever I can. Thanks again.